Chris here in Lotto Park for Newcastle's second match of the Champions League 36-team competition this time around, and yeah, real opportunity for Newcastle to post 3 points on the board, but it won't be easy against Union SG, who have already kicked off their Champions League campaign in style, beating PSV Eindhoven 3-1 in that first game, compared to Newcastle losing 2-1 to Barcelona. So there is a little bit of a pressure factor on this fixture, in my opinion. Just seeing the team now, I'm slightly surprised that Lewis Hall didn't start. I thought he would be in there, but it looks like Dan Burn back at left back, so interesting choice. It's kind of back to what we were watching a couple of seasons ago when Dan Burn had that stint on the left hand side of the defence. So yeah, it's a tough fixture for Newcastle in prospect, but you know, looking at that team, Pope, Trippier, Diao, Botman, Byrne, Bruno, Tonali, Joelinton, Elanga, Gordon and Voltemade, they've got a real opportunity.
Well, what a win for Newcastle United in Europe tonight in the Champions League, and for me that probably will be, you know, as good as it comes for Newcastle United and for Eddie Howe, because they pretty much ticked every box tonight, and if there were any questions asked of them before this game, I think they certainly answered them tonight in Brussels. You know, where do you start with it really? 4-0, 4 goals and a clean sheet, doesn't get much better, and there could have been a few more goals in there as well. It could have been an even greater win, but look, Newcastle United will take this gratefully with both hands. They went into this game sitting in the sort of bottom half of the Premier League table, different competition, change of scenery, and it did them the world of good. And yeah, it's been a really positive trip for Newcastle. Great weather here, fans really enjoying it, and you know, Newcastle getting a little bit of training done while they were here, and you know, that, as I said, doesn't get much better than, you know, winning 4-0 away from home, and just puts Newcastle back in contention for the playoff place in the Champions League. This is what this is all about. But I think really, when you look back at this game, you've got Voltemade scoring again, a deft touch to get his, you know, third goal for Newcastle United. You've got Anthony Gordon getting the penalty thing off his back, and you've also got Harvey Barnes coming on and getting a goal as well. So really good situation. Quick word on, you know, how the day has gone. Fantastic that the fans have really enjoyed themselves over here in Brussels. I was down at the square probably just as it was really starting to warm up, because I had to go to the stadium, but I thought it was just, you know, well organised, and you know, it looked like everyone was enjoying themselves. And these are what these trips are all about for Newcastle fans. They want to get to the big cities and experience it and watch the team play and watch the team do them proud, and I think that is what we've seen tonight here in the capital of Belgium. And yeah, it just sets Newcastle up nicely now for that game against Nottingham Forest at the weekend. They could really do with, you know, finishing just before the international break and getting another win on the board. I think they'll probably do it against Nottingham Forest. It'll be tough, but I think that they'll probably get it. And this game, regardless of it being another competition, just gives them that confidence to take into the game at the weekend. And yeah, great night all round. We travel back tomorrow, and then it's a press conference again on Friday for Eddie Howe. So it's a very busy schedule at the minute, and you know, he'll be just looking to get as much training time in the players as he possibly can. I'd probably rotate the team a little bit and try to get that win against Nottingham Forest at St James Park at the weekend. But yeah, tonight very good, and one in which Newcastle fans will hope sets them up for another bit of a run, going into a packed schedule after the international break. Games coming left, right and centre in the Carabao Cup, Champions League and Premier League. So Newcastle fighting on 3 fronts before Christmas, and they'll be desperate to, you know, put that rocky patch behind them. Hopefully it was a blip against Arsenal. We don't want to see anything like that again. And now Newcastle want to move forward, and tonight's win with 4 goals and a clean sheet should put them in exactly the right mood going into the weekend. Thanks for watching. Let me know your comments underneath. Haven't seen too many comments recently, so stick a few questions in there, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to you ahead of the weekend's game against Forest.